What's up, guys? It's Sam, the Raid Man. We have an insane clan boss team for today. Very exciting. If you guys didn't see my post in the community tab on my YouTube page, last weekend, I believe it was the 2x1 Sacreds. And I pulled 4 Sacreds because I didn't have my whole streaming set up with my new PC. Just got a new PC built. Didn't have my streaming setup done. And so when I just had 4 Sacreds, so I was like, okay, I won't record this. And man, I wish I did, because I pulled 3 legendary champions with 4 sacred shards. I pulled 1 epic and then back to back legendaries, which was crazy. 2 of them were new. 1 of them was a dupe. One of the new ones was King Galkabar, who I haven't booked, but I will test out at some point. The dupe one was Crypt King Grawl. Nope, that's Suzerain. They look similar. There he is. Got another Crypt King. I have a few of them now. But the other new champion is very exciting. New to the game, it is Acelin The Stalwart. This is the premier of the faction unity type champions. So basically, he gets stronger, his skills get stronger, and he helps protect the team when there's more Bannerlords, up to 3 Bannerlords on the team. So A1, chance of stun, pretty cool. He's all about shield, so if he's under shield, he will ignore some resistance. 50% chance is not bad. Books to 75 could actually be really good for single target control. This one's a weird ability. We're going to skip that for now. The A3 is really his best part of his kit. So places a shield base equal to 30% of his HP for 2 turns, and ally protect on all allies except for himself. That by itself is a pretty good skill. Books down to a 3-turn cooldown. He is booked. And then the Bannerlord's Unity, so the more people he has from Bannerlords on his team, the stronger the skill gets. If he has 1, instantly activates the skill whenever an ally is revived. When I put the skill on cooldown, it doesn't matter if there's more than 1 Acelin, it only happened once. Now that's pretty cool. I thought about doing some type of like clan boss team where like I have a dedicated stun target to die. We would put no protection up or anything on the stun. And then we could do... it would just launch that ally protect, but I don't think that's worth it. It's very difficult to tune and target, and it is cool. I think that could be useful, especially for like faction wars or high level Doom Tower or Centranos. Centranos, he's going to be a god. I mean, anywhere they allow him to be, we'll just put 3 more Bannerlords with him and breeze through it. If he has 2 faction allies, he also places block damage on himself, so he's ally protecting, but he's not taking any damage. 3 faction allies, buffs placed by the skill cannot be removed. I started testing him in Amius to see if it was possible for him to place all these buffs and Amius couldn't flip them, which that part worked, but the rest of the team just did not work. The passive, allies under shield will receive 10% less damage. If he has 1 faction ally, they're immune to stun, freeze, sleep, and provoke. So we're going to put a shield out, and that's going to ignore the clan boss stun. We don't even need block debuffs. If there's 2 faction allies under ally protection have a 20% chance of counterattacking. That is sweet. 3 faction allies, the ally of all ally shield buffs is increased by 100%, except for shield buffs gained by artifact sets. So not bolster, not shield sets. But I'm going to bring him in, who brings his own shield. So instead of 30% of his max HP, it's going to be 60% of his max HP. And then I'm going to bring in somebody else who brings a shield, and theirs will also be doubled. Now his aura, 25% defense, pretty strong, but also ally HP, 15% for Bannerlords. So if you're a Bannerlord ally, which I'll have 3 of them, they'll get 25% defense and 15% HP. Now the A2 is weird. I was working with Saf. This is a very strange multiplier. But first of all, he heals everyone by all shields, which will be a full heal. But it's like if you have a shield, you probably haven't lost health most of the time. Then removes all shields from all allies and attacks all enemies. The damage dealt by the attack is equal to the total value of the shields removed, but the damage cannot exceed 100% or 1000% of this champion's defense. So the way it works is this. If I have 50k shields on everybody, which is about what they are now in this current build, it'll remove that and it'll try to do 250,000 damage to each of them. But it's obviously maxed by 1,000% of his defense, which for me is about 5,700. So that damage can get to 57,000 damage, which is not crazy, but decent. But then it enters the damage multipliers like a normal attack would. So if this attack, let's say it's 3 times his defense, it's going to say 5,700 times 3. But then if it's a crit, it'll multiply that by the crit damage. And then it'll be mitigated by defense. It's all very complicated. And then ignore defense would also decrease that defense mitigation. So basically, if you had a +4 Acelin, you could do absolutely seer levels of damage because you could put 200, 250,000 shield out, whatever. Put them like 8,000 defense, which will bring it up to 80,000. times 300% crit rate, and you'd be able to do hundreds and hundreds of thousands of damage. So that part's cool, but it's just like, I need defense because that's where the cap comes from. I need HP because that's where the shield comes from. I need speed to place the ability and then get back to the A2. And then you need crit damage, crit rate, and ignore defense. So him as a nuker wouldn't suggest, unless you're just a hyper whale. But the clan boss team we're doing today, obviously we need 3 banner lords. And so there's a few different ones I thought about. We're going to test this twice. This is the team I've been using. So Marichka's pretty in-game. Obviously, she's a Void Legendary. We're not even using many crazy parts for our kit. We're doing the big heal on the shield before the stun. So this is a 1-to-1 team. I posted about this. I let you guys theorize on what team did this damage. This is a traditional team. I guess he does block damage on himself, but it's not a block damage or unkillable team. So before the first A1 from the clan boss, he is going to, the first attack from the clan boss, he's going to do Ally Protect and Shield. Everyone else is shielding and it has Ally Protect. You take no damage. We go 1-to-1 again. He's still got all the buffs up the next time. Takes all the damage. The buffs expire. Marichka heals everyone by 40% of their max HP, which is crazy. And then places a shield, which again is doubled by Acelin. And then he stuns one of us, or tries to. But if you have a shield, you're immune to stun. So that part is really, really cool. And the only time you do get stunned is if you were to break through the shield, which is very big. So I think this team is not 100% optimized, but it is great. So I've got Stagnant here for decreased defense, decreased attack. Rathalos is our damage. He also brings low decreased defense. Acelin is just support. Marichka is just support. They don't have full masteries. They don't have War Master. These 3 will do all of our damage, mostly Geo and Rathalos. Now, Geo's awesome because we already have decreased defense and decreased attack, but he brings Weaken and HP Burn, which would be the next 2 most important debuffs because Rathalos damage does way more damage and takes way less damage if they have HP Burn. He also removes the increased attack from the clan boss, and the Weaken also helps everybody's damage. Now, Stagnite's not necessary. I was messing around with Lord Champfort, but it was bad affinity that day. So it's almost full auto. I just need to delay Marichka's ability. So everyone else is pretty much full auto. Decreased defense, Weaken. You have to turn off the A3, for my build at least, of Rathalos because he can't get the increased speed. So we're going to buff everyone. You do still take debuffs. So on Spirit Affinity, we'd have to bring in a block debuffs champion, which is definitely a bummer, but that's an option. It's not the end of the world. And then Marichka needs to just A1, and then we're full auto. So we've still got all of our buffs up here. You can see that we just take literally no damage, basically. I have built Geo kind of for damage. Stagnite's pretty tanky. He's actually in Guardian. I've got Stagnite and Guardian doing some additional Ally Protect, and I've got Marichka and Guardian doing some additional Ally Protect. So Geo also has damage mitigation, so this team can run for a long, long time. That part is interesting, because I don't normally fight against Void. I guess my clan is slacking today. Marichka's passive, which is not part of this team, it just kind of happens, is when someone puts poison or a bomb on you, she places block damage. I don't know what the cooldown is for that, but I'm very curious, because I might just put a block damage up for like the second turn. I am curious also what is the cooldown of that, or what's like the duration. Is it a 1-turn block damage? Because if so, we'll probably outrun it by everybody. So block damage for 1 turn, Stagnite runs out. I wonder if it stops us taking, obviously it stops us taking that poison damage, but I wonder if it stops that hit. We'll have to jump in and see there. It does seem like it's on a 3-turn cooldown, which is funny, because you could potentially build something with that. There's our heal and shield. Nobody gets stunned. When he attacks here, he's going to place the poison. I'm going to slow it down and see if I can see, do we take damage? 0, 0, but I don't know if that's Ally Protect or not. We'll have to go through the rest of the run, because that might boost this even stronger. Now, one thing to call out, I tested the other day against Force, which is by far the best affinity, because everyone is neutral or strong against Force. We have 2 spirits and 2 forces. Stagnate can be switched. Geo could be switched, but I don't want to switch him, because I think he's just perfect for this slot. Now you can see Marichka's shield is not near as big, so on the stun is when the worst case, like that's the worst hit we take. But the good news about that is, that block damage is so funny. The good news is he's targeting Rathalos because he's the squishiest. But Rathalos has this huge shield. He also has, takes like 25% less damage. I'll have to check his passive. But takes significantly less damage from champions under, or enemies under HP burn. So because the clan boss has HP burn, he just, like, his stun is being mitigated severely by that HP burn passive. Also, the way that the stun hit works from the clan boss is Does look like everyone is literally taking 0 damage, but I don't know if that's just because of shields or what. Let's see what it says on the second AoE. Are we taking damage there technically? Like, are our shields getting reduced? Yeah, so those numbers pop up. So I think that block damage is keeping us invincible on the first turn count. Anyways, the way that I'm rambling, as always, the way that the stun targeting works, or not stun targeting, the damage is based on your max HP. So, for example, if he were to hit Marichka or Stagnite or Acelin, they have much higher max HP, so it would start to hit harder and harder and harder. But for Rathalos, his HP is not that high. It's like 30,000, 32,000. So when it's like doing like a big hit for like 25% of your damage, that's like a teeny tiny fraction of the shield that Marichka just placed. So I don't think the stun will start hurting us for a while. And if this team continues going the way it will, the A1's not going to start hurting us for a while. Like you see that one did 6,000 damage against the shield, but it's a big, big shield. Okay, so I do think we took some damage here. I'm having a really hard time telling if this block damage is going to come in clutch or if it's doing literally nothing. I can't tell if it's just stopping the little teeny tiny poisons from ticking against our shield or if it's actually blocking the damage from that first hit. Because if that's the case, we should last even longer. Although, at turn count 50, which we'll probably survive till, I think, he ignores block damage. So I've run this team twice. It looks like 0 across the boards. I've ran this team twice, and we reached turn count 50 once. I put a few more masteries on Acelin and Marichka, just like support masteries, increase the value of shields, increase the value of heals, stuff like that, take less damage from AoEs, things like that definitely help. No War Master on them, which would be a big boon, especially because everyone who gets hit has a chance to counterattack. 20% chance to counterattack on everything. I think Marichka's actually got revenge accessories. I know Rathalos has at least 1 revenge accessories. The more times he counterattacks, the better, because he needs to use his hits as many times as possible, because every 5th hit does like 400, 250% damage, 300, way more damage basically. So we're just under 1 million per turn here, so which is not like an insane amount. Geo starts to ramp up more as the clan boss does more damage. His passive and his HP burn starts to reflect more damage. It does look like we missed one of the HP burns. And one caveat is when I tried it on Force, we got the 77 million, I think, that I posted on the community page. Yesterday, we did it again on Force, and I got 88 million, which is the new record for this team. And not counting Brogni, that's probably my record for a traditional team, which this is kind of a hybrid traditional or not. Because when you're on affinities, so for Spirit Magic on the clan boss, when it gets below half health, he attacks 4 times on some of his abilities. Like right there, that's just 1 attack. So there's 5 chances for Geo to get a max HP proc. But if he's attacking 4 times, there's 20 chances. So he attacks way more, and Geo just always does more damage against affinity clan boss. So that's a caveat. But this run does typically go pretty long. I don't know if we'll get a 1 key or not because it's not affinity, but this Marichka passive or this Marichka little block damage thing might help us get there. So I'm going to go ahead and take myself off, speed this up for you guys, and I'll catch you all at the end. This is pretty nuts to watch. So definitely getting near the end here. Turn count 72, just under a 1 key. It's getting tight. So I did notice the Marichka passive is blocking all the damage, just on Void, obviously, on the Clan Boss's first attack. But it's not blocking the damage for Acelin. I believe if I check, she's second in the turn order, which means her passive is kicking in for the rest of them. Maybe she's third. I'll check after this. So if I put her as the lead, which obviously she has a speed aura, so I'd have to adjust the speeds, she would then block the damage for everyone. But Acelin's lead's pretty cool, and that's part of what I want to show, just like the full faction unity cap. Now this is where things are going to really start falling apart, just because one of them's going to die very, very soon. We're ignoring block damage, so that heal from Marichka is insane. Rathalos is still yet to take an actual stun and lose a turn. We have been completely immune to stuns this entire run, which is just crazy. I don't think we're going to beat 88 million, but I think we can get close. Like, the higher we go, the more damage he starts doing. We are very quickly going to lose somebody. I'm confident it won't be in the stun, at least not the first time somebody dies, because we're also getting strengthened, which is huge. So he's got the huge shield. He's taking less damage from people under HP burn. He's got low HP, and he's also got strengthened. So like, it's very... I thought that was going to kill him for sure. It looks like the block damage did kind of jump in there for Acelin. But yeah, Rathalos is not going to die from the stun. Or if he does, it's after Acelin dies. So I think once Acelin goes down right here, everything's done. So 79 million on Void, which is... I thought it was going to be way worse because of Geo's damage not being near as good. But Marichka's passive really came in clutch. So Rathalos with a whopping 41 mil. You'll love to see that. Shout out to the guy who guessed Rathalos was the champion to enable this. It's kind of him, but it's mostly Acelin. Geo, pretty good, respectable 26 million. I think a lot of that's obviously from the HP burn, but reflecting so much damage when we got to such a high level. Acelin and Marichka, literally no damage. They did 3 million between the two of them. Segmite did 9. That's all War Master, which is respectable. He's got 2-star cruelty, which helps a little bit. But the team, guys, I mean, it's just bonkers. Like, Acelin is just incredible. Like, if we were to go to a Doom Tower wave and just show you like what he can do. So I can put in Acelin, and then let's just filter by faction. We can literally put him in with like 1 damage dealer. And why are we not looking at what's going on? Did I click on the wrong faction? I did. We can put him with a ton of rares or epics, you know, like these guys can do it. And then I'll put in 1 damage dealer. Let's say sort by rank. Maybe we can honestly maybe do Rathalos. Well, that's a Bannerlord, so let's do somebody else. Let's do... trying to think of a good AoE damage dealer. Baron's also... let's do Harima. So Baron's another Bannerlord that you can use. That's kind of the cool thing, is there is just like no limit of Bannerlords that you can use. So watch this. Like, these guys are rares and stuff with literally no gear. They're low level 3 stars with no gear. And like, honestly, I could take Harima out. Like, they just can't kill us while his buffs are up. Now, when they expire, obviously that's going to be a concern, and they'll be able to kill us. But until then, like, what is this 225 level Anithwi doing to us? Literally nothing. There's nothing he can do to us. Now, granted, once the buffs fall off, he can die. So, like, bringing him in with a buff extender would be really cool. I wish there was a better one inside the Bannerlords faction. Obviously, we're going to die when we hit the boss, but we're just immune to everything. Obviously, we're going to get wrecked here, but that's not the point. Arena is not as crazy as I thought. I think it would be if you had Taras and Marichka, because basically what you could do is one turn stone skin on everyone. Acelin goes first, and then he does his buff ability, which can't be removed. Like, once he does the buffs, everyone's got them for 2 turns, and nobody can die. So you can do in the Bannerlords for Arena, you would need all 4 to be Bannerlords because he needs 3 allies. So you would do Taras, Marichka, Acelin. You could do Baron. You could do Rhonda, Androck if you have him. Obviously, Staltus would be great. You could even do Septimus to try and A1 and wipe some people. Archmage Helmet for buffing. He would be a good good addition to Taras, give him more buffs. Ursala is a great champion for anywhere in the game because she's got increased attack, AoE decrease attack, and an AoE revive. I mean, it's pretty nuts. I also think the potential is pretty high for areas and bosses where they try and remove your buffs. So she doesn't remove buffs. Bommel does. So I think I could build a Bommel team with 4 Banner Lords and an extender. And he'll never be able to place... Well, he can't remove our buffs. I'm trying to think if he can place the buffs. He could, but Marichka will block damage when bombs go on. So I might make a video on that. I know it's a little cheesy to pair him with Marichka. You could also use him in Hydra because Mischief can't steal his buffs. The buffs that he puts out there, it's like permanent protection. You could put him in a protection set. That's another great option. Honestly, I might look into that. So let's go to recently used. Acelin. I don't know if I have many rings and stuff for him. But let's go back here. Find the protection set. Because when you have full protection, I don't know if you need 100% full. Let's see. Yeah, so you do need 100% full. 75% chance plays protected buff. Allies deal 5% more damage per buff for each buff placed by the wearer. So when he's placing shield and ally protect, everyone is doing 10% more damage. Not to mention everyone just got all these cool passives. So I might do like an all Bannerlord Hydra team. We'll see. That's definitely an option. Or not all Bannerlord, but mostly Bannerlord 4. Anyways, I've rambled a lot. The point is, Acelin is super cool. Love spotlighting really cool champions like this. If you enjoyed the video, definitely subscribe to the channel to see more stuff like this. And I'll see you guys on the next one.